Industrialists fear new tax on non-alcoholic drinks will lead to unemployment. Welcome to the news, and please subscribe to our channel. Some industrialists have faulted President Muhammadu Buhari's regime imposition of 10 naira per litre excise duty on non-alcoholic beverages production. Some industrialists have faulted President Muhammadu Buhari's regime imposition of 10 naira per litre excise duty on non-alcoholic beverages production. Now, here is the thing. If we are paying these taxes, if Nigerians are paying these taxes, and they're actually given the service they are paying the taxes for, sincerely, there is nobody that will complain. Other nations of the world, they pay taxes. Other developed countries. For instance, you want to look at the United States, you want to use that. If I'm even using those countries, there's this, how my heart is squeezing me because they are so advanced. But back to the news. Those countries now, they have a very good system. They are paying for things, and they are saying it's just like you paid for an actual thing and you are giving that actual thing you paid for. For instance, in Nigeria, we pay for electricity, but we don't get it. Yes. We pay for electricity, and at the end of the day, you still see people putting solar panels on their house to generate solar energy for them. You still see people buying generating sets, buying big generators, and they still get to pay electricity bill. Like they cannot run away from it. You pay, yes, you don't get the light. At the end of the day, you still run. While you buy a generator, you still have to buy diesel or gasoline or petrol. Or at the end of the day, you still get to service it. At the end of the day, something gets spoiled, and these things, you're paying for them and you're not getting them. Or we're going to talk about water. You pay for water that you don't get. You get water maybe 4 times or 3 times or 2 times in a year. All those things. The problem is not paying. Some people are saying, okay, if we pay, will you give them? Is the electricity going to be made stable for them to run their production and pay you peacefully? All those things have to. It is not by sitting down and say, okay, we'll make this policy. No. Okay, fine, Nigerians should do that, but are you doing your part? Are you? That is just the problem. You pay so much tax, and at the end of the day, even you pay for your healthcare. At the end of the day, you go to general hospitals and they don't have some equipment, and you see people dying for lack of equipment. You pay, after you pay for these things, you also go and register in a private hospital. You take care of yourself. It's just like you actually drop money for your house and in your house for her to cook and for her to run the house. And at the end of the day, you still go outside to eat. At the end of it, you ask yourself, why am I even dropping this money? Yes. You drop money for her and drop money for everything. For instance, at the end of the day, maybe she does not cook. Your children don't still have clothes because maybe she's using the money on something else. And maybe that something else is only for herself. She's not using it for the betterment of the whole house. You're not going to be happy. They're definitely not going to be happy. That is just the truth. So my own is why they're imposing taxes on these people. They should ensure they do their own side of the contract. They should do their own side of the game. They should make sure their own end is tight. That is it. Sincerely, Nigerians are willing to pay. Good Nigerians are willing to pay. But are you going to do your own part? Are you going to close your own part of the deal? Let's find out more on this, the news in detail. Please stay with us. Finance Minister Zainab Ahmed announced on Wednesday at the public presentation and breakdown of a 2022 budget in Abuja that a new policy was aimed at discouraging excess sugar consumption and tackling diabetes. In an interview on Thursday in Lagos, the Director General, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry LCCI, Chinyere Almona, said that in her immediate concerns were the likely increase in the prices, which will lead to a decrease in demand and consequently loss of jobs. She explained that the prohibition on imported drinks should be better enforced to protect domestic production from unfair competition in the face of the high cost of production in Nigeria. According to her, the realized revenue from these levies should be channeled to improve the country's grossly inadequate health infrastructure. She recommended that the allocation of 876 billion to the health sector in the 2022 federal budget should be reviewed to about 1 trillion naira and invested into the sector in the next 10 years. Beyond the levying of taxes on carbonated drinks to enforce a reduction in consumption, public health agencies should regulate the production of sugar drinks to reduce their negative effect on human health, she added. In his submission, Muda Yusuf, the Chief Executive Officer, Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise, also implored the government to put the move on hold as the timing of the policy was not auspicious enough. This move is ill-timed and inappropriate given the prevailing harsh economic and business conditions and a negation of the economic recovery and job creation aspirations of the federal government. This is detrimental to the job creation and poverty reduction commitment of President Muhammadu Buhari, he said. Mr. Yusuf noted that the excessive taxation could become unbearable for the private sector and hinder the job creation and poverty alleviation promised by President Muhammadu Buhari. Some of the taxes and levies are already being paid include corporate income tax of 30%, education levy of 2%, and value-added tax, VAT, of 7.5%. He emphasized that upcoming businesses in the beverages sector will be hit by the proposal, adding that millions of micro-enterprises in the soft drink distribution chain will be adversely impacted by the imposition of the excise tax. Thank God there are people who are there to tell them. It is not by coming out with policies. The timing of the policy is bad. Too bad. In this same year, they're imposing taxes. In this same year, the price of petrol. The same petrol, this private sector companies or diesel. Of course, when petrol increases, diesel will also increase. Now, the same thing that, will actually, these people will actually use for production. You're increasing it. Then you want to tax them. Do you want to kill them? Do you want them to shed their blood for you? The policy timing is actually wrong. If you want to do this, make sure you're not doing the subsidy you're not going to remove the subsidy. Make sure you're not removing the subsidy. Nigerians are already gnashing their teeth. What is going on? Do you want to kill them? Haba. God will bless those that are drawing their attention to the fact that people who lost their jobs, yes. What happens is that these people get to start reducing their staffs. And at the end of the day, they cannot pay well. And at the end of the day, they shut down. Before you know it, more than 100 people are on the streets, unemployed. If this happened to this company, it happened to that, what will be left? You are selling not fellow Nigerians to create jobs for themselves. The president came out and said in his New Year's speech that Nigerians should create them. Then you are crippling them. How? Sincerely, they should look into this. This has a very wrong timing. Very, very wrong. On this note, we have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. And until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day.